Hi, I'm Gert, an engineer at Chromatic. Chromatic automates front-end tasks like testing, review, and documentation. That saves me a bunch of time and helps us ship faster. Today, I'll demonstrate some Chromatic workflows using the Guardian's component library. The Guardian is a global news brand and a Chromatic customer. User interfaces change over time. Implementing new UI features and making UI adjustments is part of my job. It often starts with a designer or product manager opening an issue for a visual change. In this case, Dominic wants some extra margin around an element. When I pick up the issue, I start by looking up the relevant screen in Storybook so I can quickly see if my code is working. Dominic was referring to the author name. I just opened the file and add some margin to the top of the element. When I save the file, Storybook will refresh the component so I can see the change applied. We'll also need some bottom margin. I know that's on the dateline component. I'll increase the margin and check my work. That looks good to me. Let's commit and push. After pushing, our continuous integration system automatically runs a Chromatic build. This means we publish the storybook to our CDN and take screenshots of every story in several browsers. Chromatic works by tracking and comparing these screenshots over time. We call this UI regression testing. Looks like it found 53 changes. That's more than I expected, but that's what you get with reusable components. I'll review the changes to make sure I didn't break anything. This one looks good. The extra margin pushes down the author name, which is expected. I'll accept this change. Looks like the main content is also getting pushed down, but I don't want that. Chromatic caught my mistake there. This one gets denied. After reviewing each change, we're left with 14 denied changes, which I'll have to fix. I'll revert the extra margin on the bottom because we don't really need it, and I'll push the fix. The CI service will run another Chromatic build, and this time we're left with 24 changes. After accepting the changes in Chromatic, I go to GitHub to open a pull request. Chromatic creates 3 merge checks on every PR. It tells us we published the storybook 220 stories, our UI tests are all good now, and we're waiting for UI review. UI review is the process of verifying visual changes with your team. Chromatic creates what's called a change set to enable this. It's a visual comparison between the source branch and target branch of your pull request. Think of it as code review, but visually. For this PR, I'll assign review back to Dominic so he can do a final check. After receiving a notification, Dominic reviewed my work and left a remark. I go back to my editor to make the requested improvement. Then I'll resolve his comment. Dominic gave my PR a final pass and approved the changes. Back on GitHub, all merge checks are now passing, so it can be safely merged. Another one bites the dust.